you can also chat it here on live chat so that our mentors can also answer it live. But then again, please be considerate that once someone is talking, please don't try to enter the stage so that we can have a harmonious and smooth AMA session. And once we do the breakout session later, but I will just reiterate those rules again after the breakout or before the breakout itself and after the broadcast. Please go on top of your screen. So if you scroll up, use your mouse, hover into the top, you would see a meeting rooms. So now perhaps if we have at least 3 or 4 mentors, each mentor will enter the room, and please take your time to have a conversation with them, at least maximum 12 minutes per participant or per team. And if you're not part of the team and someone is inside the room, please try to give some privacy into someone who is talking inside the room, which is a team and a mentor, because I believe that everyone would want to have an exclusive mentorship or exclusive AMA questions with a mentor. So let's give that to each other. All right. Okay, now I just wanted to say as well that this session is called AMA, which is Ask Your Mentors Anything. And this phase is where the participants can freely meet your co participants, teammates, and most importantly, meet your mentors live. Okay, so for mentors, we have one, two, three, four. Okay, 3 mentors. Okay, hopefully we can be joined by another mentor later. But we have 3 awesome mentors with us right now. So just want to tell you that this program would be 30 minutes broadcasting and 30 minutes in your own breakout room so that we have an exclusive time with mentors and participants to talk and to answer your questions live as well. Okay, so this session will be recorded and uploaded to our resources, which can be found from the Hackathon page or Discord server. If you don't have a chance to maybe join the Discord, please join now. Or if you haven't registered on the Hackathon, please register now. And if you feel lost, you can just hover your mouse on the left side of your screen. You would see link icon. That's the third icon from the top. And you can click that. You would see join the hackathon or Discord. And this will directly bring you to the hackathon page or the Discord page without logging you off from this session. Okay. Okay, now let me quickly introduce our mentors on the stage. And if you recall, during the opening ceremony, Canton Network did say that they are connected with a lot of partners, with a lot of ecosystem partners, super validators. And yes, that's right. These are the mentors that are with us now. And help me welcome them: Ilya of Copper, Aaron of TradeWeb, and of course, our forum group, David. So, yes, they will be together with us as they answer your questions. Please feel free to invite your friends and to invite your teammates to be in this session right here. And you will have an exclusive um, mentorship with your mentors after this broadcast of 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, you'll have your own breakout time. Okay, so I believe that we can start now. Once again, for those who have already attended last time, it will be a great time for you to tell your friends, your teammates to join now so that later you can have a one on one session with your mentor. Okay, now we shall begin. So, this is a question that we have received. So, once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to chat us here. All right, we have a chat box here on your left side. And if you have any questions, if you wanted to ask anything about the hackathon itself, please feel free to put it on the chat thread. Okay, first question that we have received. This is actually from a form. Now, let me send it. Mentors, here we go. What is the best approach to designing an integrated financial application in Canton, encompassing lending, AMMs, margin mechanisms, and real world asset tokenization, while ensuring institutional grade privacy, compliance, and execution efficiency? Any of our mentors, you're all welcome to answer.
I could take this. Yeah, I mean, Seriously speaking, I would suggest something like agile approach. First of all, it's not fully related to the question, but it's two big things to make it in one go. To be honest, yeah. It's too much things mentioned in the question. How there is this and that, and it's required a big team and a lot of people work together. I would highly recommend to, let's say, eat it piece by pieces. Yeah, do something simple and then improve it because it's again each things like a landing an IMM. It's like a super app like Jupyter when you build multiple DeFi apps in one, which means it's again super huge tasks to do. I would very much suggesting make it by multiple small developments. It's not related to Canton, by the way. It's related to anything, any blockchain which you want to develop it on.
Okay, thank you for that, Ilya. David, would you want to add to that? Okay, I believe David is on the go, so he might not be able to answer right now. But David, once you're available, please feel free to join and to answer. All right, then maybe I'll just move on to the next question that we have received. About market before bear market, how will dump? I don't actually quite understand the question, but they're asking that in the bear market, are we stuck with 0.08 to 0.01 transaction fee? I believe that this is most inclined into asking about the transaction fee on Canton and how is it sustainable in a bear market. Mentors?
I mean, it's quite hard to speak about like Canton tokenomics, which define it by Canton being the representing other firm here, and it's mostly about tokenomics and price speculation. I wouldn't speak much about it except there's the program which clearly explained how the tokenomics will survive with more demand, and more burn tokens, and how the equilibrium might be achieved. I know the foundation will look after the market and react accordingly. Therefore, I wouldn't speak about particular numbers right now when we just obviously have the token start trading, being tradable, and people start building with it. The ecosystem on the very first page, on the very first step right now, we need to look like 6 months after, a year after, when it's becoming more mature. Yeah, I mean, public ecosystem and public tokenomics, and not be sticky to any particular numbers at all.
Great. Okay, thanks for your answer, Ilya. Aaron, are you able to make your mic work now? You can type if you still cannot make it work. David?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
We cannot hear you, David.
You still can't hear me, huh?
Oh, okay. Aaron can type. Sure, I think that also works. But do you want to add to what Ilya has mentioned, Aaron? Okay, did someone hear David? Oh, okay. For some reason, I couldn't hear him. Maybe it's my problem. Okay, David, you can give it a go.
All right, so yeah, I'm on the road, so I apologize for any background noise, but you can hear me okay now? Is that all right?
Yeah, yeah. Hear you very well.
All right. Okay, so yeah, sorry for leaving the other mentors on their own there for a minute. What was the last question? I thought the first question got answered very well. What was the last question? And then I'll do my best to answer it.
Okay, so the latest question that we have is in this bear market, how is it sustainable for Canton to only have 0.08 or 0.1 transaction?
Okay. I heard most of that. So I think what I heard was, how do we think about sustainability, maybe scaling and volume and velocity in the context of the current price of the Canton coin. Is that the right representation of the question?
I believe so.
Yeah, cool. So actually, the price of the Canton coin today actually is quite healthy, considering the phase that we're in Canton being released. Really, just went live, a little over a year ago. And in that first phase, where we see, I think it's now 500, around 500 validators, 50 or 60 featured apps. We've got maybe a million and a half transactions per day, and we're seeing a price of Canton coin that's reflecting around a 3 billion, maybe 4 billion market capitalization, which puts us in, I think, the top 30, 33 of these projects, in the world. And really, no one's even heard of Canton for the most part across the world. And so what we'll see over the near term in this next phase that we're in, we'll see more developers like this calls encouraging. We'll see more utility built on Canton, and we'll see RWA, or real world assets, landing here, increasing velocity and connectivity across institutional Wall Street, private markets, private credit, and I can say that with 100% certainty because we're a large part of that, and we're actually here on this mentor call to engage with the community to help us do it because of resource constraints and etc. So there's my answer for now, and I hope that you all heard that okay.
Great. Thank you, David. I know that you're on the go, but we appreciate your effort into answering still these questions and attending our mentor, our AMA as a mentor. So thanks so much for that. That is such an insightful answer. Okay, now I'll move on to our next question. Mentors, here we go. As Canton is aiming to connect uh, traditional finance with DeFi, I am curious to know, for lending, borrowing, and yield application built on Canton, are there any additional benefits that users gain specifically because these projects run on Canton beyond what each individual app already provides its own?
Yeah, I can speak
Yeah,
to
this
that.
area. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can speak just for 30 seconds and then hand it to the other mentors. So the answer is, in short, is certainly yes. So building these connections across traditional finance and decentralized finance is, one of the most exciting and useful utilities, where in very real terms um, we'll see institutional Wall Street with its normal flows that it has every day landing here. And we'll see various coins. You're already seeing Circle coming in natively into Canton, and X Reserve that you may have heard about. There's a couple dozen other coins landing here. So over time, we'll be seeing, and already are seeing, a very real need for translating across um, assets, being able to swap, being able to stake and lend and grow. And so we've got liquidity pools that are being established. We've got competing AMMs, some complementary, some competing, and then finally, of course, at a very high level, just to sort of see the commitment to the network, you've got the DEX news that came out, with a couple dozen sort of investors and big names that you're seeing that are also um, in that space. And so all of this is going to add up to a vibrant, dynamic, growing ecosystem. So hopefully that makes sense. I'll hand it over to the other mentor.
Thanks, David. Mentors, would you want to add to that?
Yes, just literally add on top of this about specifically additional benefits. Again, I'm working a lot with such a protocols, and if you look around what the biggest DeFi lending protocol right now, they are building solution to engage give institutional liquidity to the market, and cantons specifically with all of the feature like a privacy and improved permission system and improved KYC system and all of these components. simplify a lot engaging new liquidity here. I what the additional benefits is here. I believe the market, lending market specifically, and defined lending on Canton might be way bigger, trivial speaking, than we got on retail right now, just because we activate access for the people who are reaching for this access right now. It's just in time. It's happening right now on traditional DeFi, but the probabilities of blockchains were going on like Ethereum, and so not as good for the task as Canton capabilities. That's what happens.
Great. Thanks so much for that, Ilya. I believe that Aaron still cannot really make his microphone on and but let us know, Aaron, if you have any take and if you have any answer, you can just drop it on the chat because definitely these are the things that we'll be putting on our resources and this will be recorded. So the good thing is everyone can still look at what has happened in this AMA after this session. Okay, then maybe I'll move on to the next question. Aaron, if you have anything, you can just type it on the chat as well. Okay. What is a motivation for developers to build on Kenton? Our dear mentors?
Yeah. I would say here for it's a first mover advantage right now because there is a quite big ecosystem, a quite big blockchain, and a lot of players already engaged. It's not like brand new layer one chain which just started and no supporters here, and you build like a bet. Here you see a lot of institutional big players, a lot of names who want to be here and who first will provide services. Uh, Take a significant first mover advantage because if you look right now how actively people use the applications, is not many of them exist, but whatever application exists, whoever can offer it, it's kind of this person get a queue of potential users. That's how big the demand is. And if you as an engineer, as a developer building right now today, you get this significant advantage of a very big ecosystem. That's the thing. It's guaranteed success, I would say here. Yeah, if you are obviously working and make sense. Yeah, guaranteed success ecosystem wise, not just general guaranteed success.
Wonderful answer, Ilya. Thank you for that. David, would you want to add? Aaron, you can type it in. So, oh, Aaron as well.
Nothing material to add other than first mover advantage, great opportunity for partnerships that normally wouldn't be there between very large institutions and application developers. So yeah, all thumbs up from our opinion as to sort of you're early and it's a great opportunity.
Right. I would agree to that. Yes, if you're early, that is a great opportunity. Yes, and Aaron did mention that, I mean, all of you can read the chat as well. Demo developers can control who sees what and what is visible with their sync domain. I think that's a win. All right, we have received a live question here. Hi, I understand that institutional liquidity providers can't connect to Canton right now due to regulations. When do you think institutional players will be able to connect to Canton?
Um,
Let's let's go to
no, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just not fully agree with the question. First of all, like, what does it mean they're not connected? I mean, Canton is the ecosystem of institutional players. First of all, uh, that's the thing, and that's make me hard when they will be able to connect because they are here already. The Canton been designed for institutional people, and main holders, main investors. They're all big institutional players by by default. By now, if you could reframe the question, because I really hard to pick up, it's a bit of controversial to say Canton is not institutional when it is institutional.
Yeah, not too much to add to that other than 100% agree. And in fact, Canton was designed from day one to be institutional so that it would have the right privacy and compliance and these sort of elements so that institutions could buy, sell, borrow, and lend. And every big name that you can think of in the institutional space is is probably already in Canton and has work that they're budgeting and doing.
Okay. Yes, they're right. Yes, because Canton is really connected into the institutional partners. So I believe, Ismail, if you want to get more details about this, you might want to join the hackathon if you haven't yet, or join our Discord. Once again, you can find those links on the left side of your screen. You can just click on the link icon and then you can find our links there. You can just easily navigate to our direct page and you can learn more. And definitely, there's a very vibrant and supportive community that's waiting for everyone that you can all utilize with your like-minded developers. You can definitely connect to them. You can definitely learn. Okay, now I'll move on to the next question. How much do privacy and compliance features end up shaping a DeFi design when the whole thing normally relies on full transparency?
Uh, yeah, I could take this as a first response. See, the first, let me paraphrase the question. First of all, when we speak about traditional DeFi, it's not only about transparency, it's also about like you trust the blockchain. Blockchain guarantee you the state is correct and the operations which you make on state, I mean, borrowing, lending, swapping, whatever, is done correct. In Canton, we do have the same things, i.e., whatever, do you have access to state or do you not? You get a nice guarantee, nice proof from Canton, like I said, from Canton blockchain that's operation done correctly, and there is a on-chain guarantee. There's not off-chain, no oracles here. Is part of blockchain. Moreover, if you are participating in any operations, you as a part of operations, you get information to the state. Yeah, only necessary data will be disclosed, but you will see. It's not like zero knowledge proof. You will literally get the information about balances and things as a part of the operation. You wouldn't get information about other people operations, but you shouldn't have it. I Yes, this privacy component and compliance component shaping DeFi architecture a lot because the people who write contracts need to do a bit of different architectural approach, I would say. But for users, you still get the proof from blockchain that everything what is done correct, and everybody who is a participant of operation itself, who should to know what's been moved and what the state is, they know what the state is and what been moved. External observer doesn't know what the reason why he or she should to know. It's no reason for that. That's the privacy bit give us. That's kind of my feeling about it.
Great. Okay. Any of our mentors would want to add to that?
Add from 4M, great answer.
Okay. We'll move on to the next question that we have. What is the fundamental difference between the Canton Ledger model and the UTXO or account based model commonly used in the other blockchains? And why is it more suitable for financial assets?
Uh, I could take this one as well as a technical. See, when we speak about UTXO model, generally speaking, it's make funds way more traceable, which is significantly important. I mean, say you have a pool of funds on Ethereum blockchain, and people, I don't know, 10,000 people deposited to the pool, and you never know whose funds been deposited. And if, say, one of those 20,000 Ethereum been contaminated or involved in any malicious activity, like current compliance approach, which we have on the market, whole pool will be counted as contaminated because you couldn't distinguish because Ethereum is fungible. Yeah. When you have UTXO, it's different. Like each let's say currency, each node has the own serial number, and you could define which UTXO belong to which user. You could easily separate assets, even the pooled, and you have a control on all of them. Many people deposit in one pool, but it is UTXO get a way better traceability for assets. And also, if you speak specifically about Canton UTXO compared to like Bitcoin UTXO or some others, they can be burned and can be remained again when you do operations, and when they change owners, or you made some operation of them, you could kind of refresh, like the currency, to clean it up. I don't know how to say it. It's not compliance policies and practical use cases about this right now, but I believe it will be the case when we come close to the business. The main thing is you also give you an incredible way of traceability. You can distinguish which assets originally belong to whom, and therefore process them accordingly, which is super helpful again for this unclear pool DeFi compliance area where we are operate right now on traditional blockchains.
Wonderful. David, Aaron?
No, that was a technical question and a great answer from my perspective. Thanks.
Okay, now we have the live question here. How weak, how, wait, okay, how Canton Swap is accessible to everybody? Would you please demonstrate the Canton Swap if possible? Or my question is appropriate to answer.
So I'll take that, I think. So Canton Swap is an application, if that's what the question is referencing. Canton Swap today is an application that is live on Canton. It was created, developed, and deployed by Obsidian, and I would not actually think this is the right forum for explaining how to get onboarded to other applications, but you should be able to find that online, like on the website for Canton Network. Look for Obsidian, and they can direct you how to join Canton Swap.
Yes, that's right. So, is it HKI337? If you want to, you can refer to our Discord channel. Our Discord channel has this specific thread we call Hackathon Resources, and definitely you can find something about swapping and you can try it there as well. And if not, it's also a very welcoming community. If you need some answers, there will be a community that will answer you on the spot as well. So don't be shy. Everyone is very, very welcoming there and accommodating. Okay, now this might be my last question before we go into the breakout session, or maybe second to the last, but this is a good question, I believe. Does Canton Construct have a specific risk management model, e.g., for liquidation or collateral management, directed into lending, borrowing blocks? I think he's mentioning like Canton Network. Does Canton Network have a specific risk management model directly integrated into its lending or borrowing building blocks?
So, hi, it's Dave again at 4M. So, the way the question is worded sounds like they're asking if the Canton Network has one sort of central risk management platform, for the entire network. And my answer to that would be no, at least based on how I'm interpreting the question. And my answer being no is because of this. So within the context of institutional Wall Street, you have, the types of players that people generally think of: JP Morgan, Soc Gen, Citadel, TradeWeb, BNY Mellon, Broadridge, etc. These stakeholders, if you will, in the traditional finance all come together to be able to buy and sell, borrow and lend amongst that group, right? And that group, if you will, each has their own risk management and liquidity management, treasury management, client onboarding management, compliance, etc., rather than one collective application as a whole for what I just described. And so you can think of that same model simply being now deployed in the digital sort of context of the Canton network. Within the Canton network, there will be large structural central clearing and these types of aspects that are still getting designed and built. But no, there's not one sort of risk management sort of dashboard for all risk within the context of Canton. So hopefully that answer was lucid, but happy to have others think otherwise.
Wonderful. Thanks, David. Anyone would want to add to that?
I just want to link it quickly to the one question which been asked before, like what advantage for developers? Because for me, this question sounds a bit different. Like this, do we have any SDK on Canton side which allow you to have a framework for risk management for your DeFi app and so on? And my answer is also no. But what advantage you could being a first guy, you could define how it will be done on ecosystem, because as we know from like early Ethereum days, a lot of solutions like AMMs or lending engines being done by one team, by one guy who now is famous and getting a lot of success, and then being reused and repeated a lot of people after. And if somebody make this, framework for risk management, that's what everybody will pick up, I believe.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Ilya. Now, you're from Petso. Am I right to pronounce that? But anyway, here's the question. What are the specific privacy controls for borrower lender visibility in syndicated loan commitments? And how does the network enforce over collateralization threshold without revealing position to non parties?
I could try to to respond a little bit. Hello, what the content offering to lending borrowing, deployment compared to some again traditional EVM like DeFi things. On Canton, when you do make a loan on a borrow assets, it's specific contract created which contain the information about who is the borrower, who is the lender, how much assets been taken, and what the all this permission they have access to contract itself, and what the privacy controls they have about this particular contract and information inside of this contract. This is how it does. If you look on something else, again, like say Ethereum, how it works, you make a loan, you get this soul bonded tokens which you couldn't move out, which represent your loan. And this is generic for everybody. For Canton, again, I'm repeating, you have a custom contract. Each time it's printed like on a factory of contracts for each taken loan with custom privacy control inside of the contract. Therefore, only people who participate in the contract or the third party, if they decide to show, able to see what's going on inside of the contract. That's on a contract level, which again, created for each loans. That's how it works on Canton compared to other traditional EVM-like solutions. Hope it helps.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for that answer, Ilya, and Aaron has type it out. It has to do with how you set up service in your contract. Right. Okay. So we have received one last question, but I do believe that this is something that you might want to ask our mentors in private so that you can also get their feedback, they can also get their opinion about what you're specifically building or what you have in mind. But then, before we move into the breakout session, let me just take this opportunity to make some announcement. So on December 5, which will be on Friday, 11:59 Eastern Time, please take note that it is our deadline for submission, and we're quite strict with the submission deadline. We don't extend it, and we also don't give chances for a minute or two to extend the deadline itself. So if you're telling me that, oh, Shirley, I'm only late for like 30 seconds, we would still need to enforce our deadline. So strictly, it is on December 5, 11:59 Eastern Time. And what's going to happen next? The great thing about this is this Canton Construct Ideathon will have 10 best winners. And these 10 best winners, apart from winning the 2,000 USD in cash each, you will also be moving into the next level, which is the Canton Catalyst, whereby you will have a refinement of your projects with a specific mentor who can help you with your project. So, what it means is that you will have a regular weekly catch up with your mentor to refine your project, and you will compete for the three grand prize winner at the end. How are you going to get that slot? Please submit for Canton Construct Ideathon, and it will be your chance to be part of the 10 best submissions who will go into the next level of our program, which is Canton Catalyst. That will happen in January until February 2026. So please tune in into our Discord channel, X, Twitter, and EDMs. If you have subscribed to our channels, definitely you can receive all these updates in time. Okay, now we kind of like receiving more questions, but the good thing about this is we're now going to breakout session. So please go for our mentors. Please scroll your screen. You can go into each rooms on top. And then for the participants, you can go inside the rooms, but please make sure that you are together with your team. But if you're a solo hacker, please feel free to go inside. But then if you see that there are people who are already inside, please queue up outside. And for those who are inside, please be considerate to others so that they can have a chance as well to talk to the mentors. Definitely everyone deserves it. Please just limit your time to maximum of 12 minutes. And for Aaron, as you all know, he cannot make his microphone work, and that's completely fine. So you can chat him still in the private room through the chat thread. In the private room, you will have a private conversation with him through the chat itself. You would see that on your screen, left side, there's all and there's private tab. You can just click on the private tab when you're inside the room. You'll be able to talk to him in private. Okay, so let's take this time to talk to our mentors. If you're not comfortable of talking to them via voice or in like on live voice that you have, it's okay. You can just chat it on the thread via the private chat, and definitely they would help and be happy to answer you. So in this AMA, there is no closing ceremony. You can just go as it is when it's already time. So it ends at 11 a.m. Eastern time for our mentors. Once the time is up, you can feel free to leave the site, or you can also, for our participants, you can also go to our Discord channel under the mentor assistance, and you can continue asking questions there. It's not just the mentors who's going to answer you. There will be a lot of community members who are very much willing to help you in this journey. So please, everyone, you can go ahead and have a talk with your mentors. This is your only chance because this is the last AMA that we have and the only interactive session that we have for Canton Construct. All right, let's go, everyone. And if you have any questions, I'm here on. You could see that Sunny, Beyond, everyone that has the Angel Hack nickname, you can approach us and you can ask us any questions. But of course, those questions are related to this program. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And if it happens that the time is up, I hope to see you once again tomorrow. We have a workshop, and please feel free to let your friends know, to let your teammates know to attend it. It's about lending, borrowing, and yield application. There will be more announcement coming up. Please tune into our Discord and X or Twitter or EDM, wherever it is, we'll try to reach you out. Okay, so please tune in for any announcements. Thank you too. Okay, let's go, go, go. You can talk to your mentors. If you're shy, you can just go to the room, chat. If you're not shy, definitely you can use your voice and ask them.